Welcome, FOREX traders. Welcome to my live trading room. This is where I'm currently day trading. I am a human, and I like to be in control of my trades. I can't predict the future, but I have an edge, and I'm going to trade my edge. Last week, I went into a extended drawdown, and sometimes when I have a broader picture of everything, and in time of trading, my blinders narrow in, and I get so caught up in the now. And so at times I just need to step back, and I took those couple days, and I took a step back, reassessed everything, got a broader picture of my trading. So that's where we're at right now. So I'm going to grind out of this drawdown that I'm in, and I have a solid system. It has an edge. It's going to put me in periods of drawdowns. I need to manage those drawdowns properly, and so join me while I manage this drawdown. Let's go. It is a fresh week, fresh day, and a fresh month here in 2021. It's the 1st of February. It's 1:17 a.m. So good morning. We are 17 minutes into the London session. Let's go ahead and take a look here at my full pivot charts. And if we are going to be in a temporary bear market, which is supposed to be, according to the season, be already underway. In fact, let's go ahead and drop into my weekly, my swing trading charts here, so we can get a broader picture. Let's go ahead and work the time frames here. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and unpack. Let's start off with the euro. Okay, so let's zoom out here. Okay, this is where we are dating all the way back to summer. Okay, so our summer rally, sideways market, our retrace, continuation up, and a retrace, maybe some consolidation sideways. We remember so we're in the season where we had the let's go ahead and do this here. Let's drop this into 4 hour, get some more data here. Okay, and let's try this here, daily. Well, I like the 4 hour. Okay, so we had our summer rally, sideways, a little bit of retrace, consolidation, rally, retrace, maybe some consolidation. Remember, okay, so this here, the season said that this was supposed to be a more of a retrace, right? And we didn't really get that. We kind of got the down and then a sideways, a double bottom, and continuation. So this was our big take profit zone for this season right here, this bull season. It kind of went a little bit higher, did the down. Maybe it's going to be some sideways, maybe some up, some sideways, some down, and then continuation up. So I don't know. I can't predict the future. I did get a little spooked, and this market's full of trickery, and I got tricked. Maybe I got tricked, but anyways, I need to. I had to take a step back and take a look at the broader picture and realize that these pivots are going to flush out the majority of bad trade signals. That's what it's designed to do, and I just need to trust in the process. During times of the news, this is why I don't like EAs, because there were several trades there And I believe it was like the Australian and in the pound and a couple other trades where I had so many lots on the table, so many trades that were building, and I had already gotten stopped out on a few, and I didn't want to add on to that frenzy for the day. So I removed. I went against, we had, what did we have? We had a Fed interest rates. We had Fed interest rates, and I removed a lot of the risk off the table that day, which was I'm glad I did. I removed the Australian, the pound, the Australian yen. I even think I removed some euro, and I was able to limit. Those would have all gotten stopped out. I think the only one that I had removed that wouldn't have stopped me out, that went into full profit, was the pound yen. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So anyways, what we're seeing right now, we've been seeing the continuation up on the pounds. We're seeing sideways, a little bit down on the Australian, some down on the Australian dollar. We're seeing this came down, now we're sideways on the euro. This came down, kind of double bottom. Now we kind of made an up on the. So the yens look maybe a little bit stronger. Lots of sideways here on the CAD. Yens look maybe a little bit stronger. Dollars are a mixed bag. Yeah, I'm just gonna let the pivots do their jobs. Let's go to day trading. Let's go to day trading pivots. I'm just gonna let the pivots do their jobs. If they're going to keep me from making bad entries, then maybe they're going to not keep me out of all the bad entries, but they're going to flush out quite a bit. So I'm just going to trust in that. What if we do enter into a bear market? Well, then I will work on other projects. I will still do my daily recordings here with you folks, but I don't think it would be a long-lived bear market. Probably just in the grand scheme of things, when you zoom out, it's going to be just a dip, because remember, it's global. This global macroeconomics is you have all this money printing going on with the dollar, and the dollar is, the dollar is. I'm bearish on the dollar, and we've been going through a bull market on all these pairs right here. All these pairs have been going up for a while now, ever since they've been doing this quantitative easing. Same thing here with the yens. I'm sorry, whoops, these are all up right here. So same thing here, been bearish on the yen because of all the quantitative easing. So any type of bearish moves that we make, it should just be retracements. It may look like a nasty move on the 15-minute chart, but when you put it on the 4-hour chart, the daily, it's just maybe some sideways down. So I'm going to maintain my bearish bias on the dollar and the yens, and I'm going to use my pivot points to flush out those periods of time, to flush out the majority of the bad trade signals. Now I am still going to get some bad trades, but it's going to allow me to build on the winners. So that's what I plan on doing. Thank you for sticking with me on this. And I had a good weekend. I hope that you had a good weekend too. But from here, let's go ahead and just mark out any type of potential trade setups and see what we're working with right now. So anyways, okay, let's go to the top to the bottom. Pound is too strong. I need it to come down and do a little bit of a retrace, either to the central pivot or the M2. Train left the station a little too early here on the pound US dollar. We do have a trade setup though. Let's go ahead and mark that off on the pound dollar. It's right here. Okay. That's a trade setup right there, okay? So a trade setup here on the Aussie. So all we need now for it to break, it's daily here during the London session. Oh, a beautiful trade setup, possible trade setup here on the Aussie US dollar. Okay, nice bounce on central pivot on the CAD yen right here. Okay, Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin, so we don't pivot trade this one. Let's do some analysis here shortly. Give me a minute. We're waiting for the bounce here on the Euro Yen on a central pivot. That I'm going to be watching closely. Euro US dollar, it's breaking below its weekly central pivot right now. Let's go ahead and watch the M2. See how the M2 plays out. It's heading down right now. Let's watch this zone right in here. Now, let's go and move on to Biddy. Okay, here we go, Biddy. All right. So let's talk about this this triangle right here. Okay, so, or this wedge. We had several points of contact for this wedge here. It's not a perfect drawn wedge, but you know, it's I don't try to get too perfect when it comes to I just try to get the average points for everything. Okay, so here's the average points. Another little wick right there, a little contact right here. Okay, so anyways, when price enters into what appears to be a chart pattern, and if it doesn't fulfill the majority of the chart pattern and it has a breakout, this is typically a false breakout. Either it's doing more of a consolidation, okay, in a different type of pattern, or it's a bearish move. Okay, so when it goes into a chart pattern like this and it doesn't fulfill the majority of this right here, this in here was not fulfilled. Okay, typically this is a false breakout, and it's more than likely either forming a new chart pattern, more consolidation, a new chart pattern, or it's bearish. Okay, a break to the opposite end, and even that can still provide a bullish move. So all it's saying is this is a void chart pattern. Okay, this chart pattern is void from here. So that's an early breakout. Okay, now let's talk about pivots here. So what happened? We had buyers come in right at the M2, kind of formed a double bottom right here. Okay, and then we have a new month, and so far it looks like at least some buyers had stepped in and bought, you know, in between the M2 and the central pivot. Can it do something a little bit more like this? Sure, and still be a valid buy zone? Absolutely. I don't know if pivots are going to play too much of a role during a consolidation like this, but they do sometimes tell a story. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at these weekly. So it's kind of an ugly candle that we had right here with this long wick up right here, small low body, and a long wick down, had a long wick down, had a long wick down, had a long wick down. So we got long wicks to the downside, long wicks to the upside. So no true real winners here, and I have the 21 moving average moving up. It's now currently at 24,000, but by the time that price comes down, if price does come down, you know, you're getting the 21 still moving up, and it's right now this is like looking at it back in time right now, because maybe it's actually way up here right now, but it's such a lagging indicator. So yes, we can still get a move down and still be within this 21 moving average. That's on the weekly. All right, so yeah, not really in consolidation mode. It's kind of hard to trade pivots. This is my day trading pivots here. It was looking really pretty though. I mean, look, had the breakout, the retest, comes up, a nice beautiful bounce, and then profit taking zones, right? And then I would have had, if I was trading pivots, this would have been a buy, this would have been a buy, and this probably would have been a stop out right inside here. All right, let's keep an eye on this here. I'll put it on time lapse. All right, let's take a quick little update here. I'm showing a possible bounce on the Euro Yen at central pivot. I'm just going to mark that out. And let's see here. Looks like price is trying to break above the daily central pivot after bouncing at the M2 on the Australian yen. So we're going to have to wait for that breakout first before we take any long here. And break of new highs right now for the pound yen, but I don't have any trade setups down here. Let's see. Watching the Australian US dollar, need for it to break above, retest and go. And possible trade setup right here at the M2 for Euro US dollar. So we're going to be watching those. Okay, it's 2:30 a.m. So we're in 30 minutes into the London session, and showing here a possible trade setup here on the Euro USD. Still has a lot of work to do for it to be a trade. Let's go ahead and just mark that out right now. It looks like we're testing the central pivot on the day after bouncing on the weekly central pivot, where we're testing the central pivot on the day for the Euro Yen. So we will have to break above that. And same scenario here, except for we had the trade set up on the M2, but testing the central pivot on the day for the Australian Yen. We'll keep an eye on that one. Quick look here. This is XRP on the daily chart. And it's near new highs. I know that the Wall Street Bet guys were talking about pumping this thing to the moon today. Yeah, and certainly it has. So far, it looked like it's going to go to the moon. They are pumping it for sure. They telegraphed their hand. Okay, here's also silver. The guys down at that subreddit also said they're going to pump the hell out of silver. This is silver being pumped on the 15-minute chart right here. Well, they weren't lying about that either. It's 9:33 a.m. 3 hours 33 minutes into the New York session, and look at XRP. XRP, wow, had a big pump and then a big sell-off. Let's see here. Yeah, how far down did it go from the top? It's down 45%. And it's up for the day 46%. Is that today's candle? No, that's not even today's candle. Yeah, it's actually down for the day because it started right here. So down for the day 16%, but overall from that peak down 45%. Thought they were going to pump it hard today. I guess they pumped it, but immediately took profit. We'll keep an eye on XRP. Also, GameStop's down for the day. And silver's still up. Let me see. Let's pull up silver here real quick. Let's template this. Yeah, it's still slightly up for the day. They pumped it with a gap. Pumped it with a gap in here. So the gap, and since then it's come right back down. So maybe it'll fill the gap and continue on. But that was their plan. Their plan was to maybe it was a diversion. Here's one for the chart pattern, guys. This is kind of a sloppy one, but it's a cup and a handle. A little bit of a sloppy one. And a little bit of a kind of somewhat of one going on right here as well on the Aussie. Both if they break out these levels here with conviction, it's bearish. Alright, it's our noon o'clock update. Taking a look here. Not much action today, but you know, we're setting up for the rest of the week, the rest of the month. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our full pivots. So, I was checking in on this periodically, just taking a look. I still have a lot of distance here before the central pivot or even the M2. We're just kind of riding along the central pivot. We did get the bounce here on the Australian yen. Never really got the break above. I do have a lower pivot box for tomorrow. Yeah, don't expect anything to happen today. Also here on the CAD yen, I did have a little bit of a bounce here on central pivot. We came right back down to it. I do have a higher box here, but if I don't get the bounce on central pivot and then move higher, then I wouldn't be able to take this trade. If we come right down to central pivot for the weekly and end there, I will still need the bounce first before I have my second tier of the confirmation. Here on the euro yen, I'm slipping below the central pivot on the weekly, so we're going to be eyeing up to see if we have a bounce here or if we have a bounce here. Then we'll be looking at tomorrow's pivots trade. The Euro USD well below its M2 in a downwards posture. Bitcoin's just been going sideways in its buy zone. This is the daily buy zone here. This is the weekly buy zone here. And then I did get a little bit of a bounce at the M2 on the Australian. Still below the daily central pivot, so we're looking at tomorrow as being a down pivot, but we'll need it for it to break out during the London or New York. Here on the pound dollar, got the bounce on the M2 on the weekly, and I do have a down pivot, so we're going to need for it to break above during the New York or European market. That's our quick update. I'll keep it on time lapse.
Then it goes straight down to like 6 to 80. And then I added a little bet on silver. He has to sell something to be able to do.
All right, so here we are. It's 2:01 p.m. It's about an hour away from the New York close. And yep, so we had the down, and which dragged the pivot down for tomorrow. And yep, had down moves across the board. Look at the euro toggling with this last level of support right down here. So anyways, we're not going to have any trades in the New York session unless we have a big bounce right now on the CAD yen. and I don't think that's going to happen. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and we're at 25 minutes, so perfect. I'm trying to keep the videos within underneath a half an hour. So we're there right now. We didn't have any trades today, but all eyes are going to be on the London session tomorrow. We'll see you then.